بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Is Salim Suwari or Suwar.
Yeah,
I was
Salim Suwari.
fascinated by his method of dawah. It's because I've always preached this method of dawah. And I think a lot of people online, whether through YouTube or shorts and reels, TikToks, whatever it is, I don't know, maybe for the views, but their method of dawah is not something I enjoy. I don't like this whole let's argue in the street and take video record it,
Yeah,
right?
I'm exactly like you. Like being from the UK especially, that's the predominant theme of dawah in the UK. Or well,
Yeah.
for people that are famous for dawah online, that's how they're famous for dawah, through confronting people in the street, recording videos, ripping off their tops, doing all that kind of stuff. And that's something I've never really vibed with. Just being from that West African tradition, that's something that's not part of our tradition, number one. And then number two, just seeing the way in which the West is, I don't think that's the most conducive way of calling people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so anytime I go to America, people always ask me, "Oh, do you know Dawah person so and so? Or do you know Dawah person?" I'm just like, bro, I don't know them, because I was never even in the places where people will be there doing all of that stuff. For me to even become familiar with them. So yeah, but we're famous in the UK Muslims in the States are famous for that, I think,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. But yeah, alhamdulillah, it is what it is.
It reminds me, I think it was Imam Abu Hanifa. He was very famous for his debates and eloquent debates in the streets with atheists and agnostics. And I heard a story once where his son basically succeeded him in this debating in the streets. And then one time his son was really going at it and beating this atheist or agnostic in a religious debate. And he was like, in his mind, he was thinking, "Oh, my father Abu Hanifa is going to be so proud. I'm doing such a great job." And he found Abu Hanifa just walking away, and he runs after him afterwards and goes, "Why'd you leave? Why are you walking away? Why'd you leave? When I was in the middle of the debate?" And he said, because it didn't seem like he wanted to mend hearts or build a bridge between them or tug at his heartstrings or actually have a genuine conversation. It seemed like you guys were intending on beating the person in front of you. And look at how I destroyed him. Look how I beat him. Look how I embarrassed him. I got your moment. And I thought that was very beautiful, is that many Muslims don't realize this, but Islam and religion and Allah is a battle of the hearts. It's not a battle of the minds. Even the people who are atheists, they'll tell you a bunch of logical reasons behind why they do the things or why they believe the things they believe. But if you really sit down and talk to them, there's an emotional reason why they don't believe in God. It's not a logical reason.
Yeah, usually it's not. It's not a logical reason. And even before all of that, I just feel like when it comes to da'wah, Allah has given us a methodology of how to give da'wah in the Quran. When Allah talks about da'wah, we see Him say, "Adu ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wa maw'izatil hasana." Call to the path of Allah with wisdom and with good speech. You know, وَجَادِلُهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. And then when you argue with people, argue with them in the best way, or in the way that's best. So it's always up to us to look at these three things. Hikmah, wisdom. Maw'izatil hasana, making sure that our speech is the best of speech. We're calling people in a good way. And then وَجَادِلُهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. And then if it gets to the stage where you're arguing with people, you do it in a way that you're arguing with them with what is better, and you're arguing with them with what is best. But like shouting and doing all these kind of things, I don't know, I'm not personally a fan. That's not my way. And if you look historically in the Muslim world, that's not the way that was the most successful way. In places where Islam was spread through da'wah and Islam was established and has still been established until today. So if you look at the largest country in the world, which is Indonesia, the largest Muslim country in the world, which is Indonesia, I think there's, I don't want to give estimates of the number and get it wrong, but I know it's the largest Muslim country in the world. They were never ruled by Arabs, or, they were never ruled by the Khilafah. It was 9 people, and they called them the Wali Songo, the 9 friends of Allah. who literally moved into the area from Yemen. Some of them were traders, some of them were teachers, some of them were craftsmen, etc. And just through their interacting with the people and their living amongst these non-Muslims, they ended up converting all of these people to Islam. And then Islam now has been so firmly established in Indonesia that it's, the largest Muslim country in the world. None of them argued with people or did all of these kind of crazy publicity stunts to bring people to Islam, but it was a very natural process. And the same thing with the Salim Suare method, the Suarian method in West Africa, where they didn't call to Islam through jihad and they didn't call to Islam through, all of these things. It was literally through trade and through education and through providing service to the local communities that they were
Community service.
it was trade, education, and community service. Those were the three things that won people over to Islam in West Africa. And we know now how established Islam is in West Africa. And it was through people who followed this method of da'wah, this historical method of da'wah. So I feel like if we want to give da'wah in the West, that would be the best method to give da'wah as well, because that's what worked for those before us. And logically, that looks like what will work for us the best as well.
This is the Ansari Podcast.